Recently, a WN-800 wet type nugget plant was manufactured by Sanritsu Machine Industry. This plant was installed as a project supported by JICA in the Global Automotive Research Center, also known as GARC, of the National Automotive Testing and R&D Infrastructure Project near Chennai, India. GARC is a unit under the National Automotive Testing and R&D Infrastructure Project, housing facilities for comprehensive testing services. GARC provides certification testing and R&D support to automotive, vehicle, and component manufacturers in India. GARC, which is under construction, is spread over 304 acres with combined office space and test labs at the SIPCOT Industrial Growth Center near Chennai. The Recycle Demo Unit is a significant first step in developing a modern and viable auto recycling industry in India. One set of WN-800 wet type nugget plant equipment was installed in a Recycle Demo Unit, building at the Global Automotive Research Center in September 2016. The WN-800 equipment, which was manufactured in Japan, was packed and shipped to India, and it arrived at GARC at the end of August 2016. After the arrival, the packaging was opened by the Indian staff and staff of Sanritsu Machine Industry. The location where the equipment was to be installed was decided together with the Indian staff as shown in the scene. First, the crusher was installed. It was followed by the conveyor. Then, the area around the crusher was isolated by the soundproof room. And finally, the other equipment was set up, including the classifier. The wet type nugget plant performs treatment in the following order: crusher, wet type gravity classifier, dehydrator, and lastly drying kiln. And it has the following features. First feature is that the wet type gravity classifying method has a high accuracy recovery rate, and hence the copper recovery loss is small. Second feature is that this system prevents mixing of miscuts, which have an intermediate specific gravity in a copper product. The third feature is that a small amount of ferrous foreign materials can also be crushed. And at last, fourth feature is that the product has a high-grade finish. The copper and resin from wire harnesses are separated with high accuracy. The Indian specification of power is 415 volts. The wire harness treatment capacity is 100 to 200 kilograms per hour. Wire harnesses are charged into the crusher. After crushing, the material is separated into copper and resin by the classifier. Thanks to the wet type gravity classifying method, which uses flowing water and vibration, the copper recovery rate from wire harnesses is 98% or more. This extremely high copper recovery rate makes it possible to achieve high accuracy classification with minimal loss to the covering side. The miscut recovery mechanism, which is patented technology, is included in the plant. This is a function for continuously removing the materials called miscuts, which have an intermediate specific gravity, and this enables stable recovery of high purity copper nuggets. The raw materials treated by the plant are wire harnesses from automobiles and copper cable scrap, such as home appliance cords. Wire harnesses and cable scrap sometimes contain adhering steel foreign materials. The plant can also treat a small amount of this ferrous waste without a worry. The rough crusher and fine crusher crush the raw material to a small nugget-like shape. Covered wires with a low-specific gravity are carried to the lower side of the inclined deck by flowing water. Copper wire, which has a heavy specific gravity, is discharged to the upper side by vibration friction with the bottom of the deck and separated. In comparison with the dry type gravity separation method, the wet type boasts good separation accuracy of 98 to 99% and a high copper recovery rate for automotive wire harnesses and other types of fine wire. If fire is used in a copper drying process, this will cause deterioration of the copper. This is one weak point of the wet method. However, with the WN-800, it is possible to dry wires of all sizes, from large diameter to fine wire, with only electricity without using a large kiln. The dried copper is cooled in the lift and is then discharged from the discharge hole. Stable recovery of high-grade copper nuggets with purity of 98% or higher is possible. The WN-800 realizes high accuracy separation with minimal loss of copper to the covering side. With this side, you can see that the resin is also separated. Sanitsu machine industry is contributing to a recycling society by reuse of valuable metal resources through waste electrical wire recycling treatment equipment. In the future, we will strive continuously to develop new products and improve our technologies with the aim of being an only one manufacturer that can propose unique solutions to niche markets by taking advantage of our original know-how and experiences. Sanritsu machine industry, the electrical wire recycling equipment expert.